Tommy Mottola made some very racist remarks. But what he said was to one of the artists who work at Sony. He has a contract with the company, and he called him a fat black nigger.
Some fireworks today. Of course, Tommy Mottola is the head of Sony Corporation. Multi-platinum singer Michael Jackson is feuding with Sony and Tommy Mottola. The gloved wonder charged that the recording industry was a racist conspiracy that turns profits at the expense of performers.
I just owe Sony one more album. It's just a box set, really. I'm leaving Sony a free agent.
Unreleased recordings of Michael Jackson. The King of Pop is said to have left behind a mountain of material. Music executive Tommy Mottola, who worked closely with Jackson at Sony Records for 15 years, considers himself the gatekeeper of Jackson's catalog.
Still the property of Sony, to my belief.
But Sony fired him.
Do you feel the recording industry as a whole has been, you use the word sort of conspiracy against black artists? Why do you think this has happened?
Money's the root of all evil.
Sony I own half of Sony's publishing, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me. So the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album.
The album's #1 all over the world. All over the world. America's the only one because I don't want to say too much.
But it's not #1 in the United States.
It's conspiracy, yeah.
These statements about me are totally false.
If you think about it yourself, and Michael molested your son, would you ask for money? Would you?
Michael was in one of the SUVs with my sister Reevie, and she was kind of consoled him, and he was just, why are they doing this to me?
Several years ago when he came to me about his catalog, always felt that there were those forces conspiring to undermine him.
Because his good and his innocence.
Sorry.
It's what freed him. They told us there's only 6 seats. Every trial, when you didn't see certain family members there because the judge did not want to show, and the American media didn't want to show my entire family sitting there supporting their brother. They wanted to make it seem like some of us weren't interested because they only gave us 6 seats. It's more than 6 family members in my family.
Yes, sure, they know
So this is the American system. This is what they do, right? This is what they did to us.
But he was a warrior. He faced them.
Yes.
And he was acquitted from all the charges.
So Janet and I weren't allowed in the courtroom because there were no more seats. So we went upstairs, and we were sitting in a room, and I hear all this cheering, and I walk over to the window, and I see this lady release the dove, and I say, what's going on? But that's very positive. Then I found out later, on every count, a dove was released.
Michael Jackson, not guilty on every single count.
Michael Jackson now officially not guilty. It was a unanimous decision. A free man fully vindicated.
This was all planned. It was part of a conspiracy.
This is all complete conspiracy. I'd like to thank you for your assisting me in bringing justice to Tommy Mottola. And he used a lot of other people's careers to destroy other people's careers. I don't want to call any names. But Sony fired him.
I know what Michael was afraid of. I know that when you're in a position...
What was he afraid of?
He was afraid of his life. He would say, I'm afraid of my life. I'm afraid they're going to assassinate me. I'm afraid they're going to kill me.
I'm very concerned about my life.
And he grabbed me and hold me and squeezed me like an animal's claws. Dick, don't leave me.
That's right.
They're trying to kill me.
There is nothing in and around Michael Jackson that will not be commercialized.
You follow to where the dollar leads to in this thing, and you will get the real people.
At some point, the world needs to see this production. We have it in a vault. The world needs to see this production. At some point, we'd like the world to see that. You know, obviously, the sooner the better.
And I'm not saying it's altruistic, okay, but it's business.
Greed, money, somewhere greed got in there and somebody, I can't quite say, but it has to do with money. It's Michael Jackson. Look what we have here. We get money out of this.
It looks as if it will be a huge hit for Sony's Columbia Pictures, with some estimates that I've seen running as high as $600 million worldwide for a limited 2-week run. $600 million in a 2-week run.
Michael was worth well over $1 billion in music publishing assets, and somebody killed him for that.
In my Sony catalog is all the Beatles music, all of, Little Richard's music. I own Sly and the Family Stone. I own such a volume of I own Elvis, so many Elvis songs, and it's a huge catalog. It's very valuable. It's worth a lot of money, and there is a big fight going on right now as we speak about that. Now, I can't say whether or not. I can't comment on it. There's a lot of conspiracy. I'll say there's a lot of conspiracy going on as we speak.
I'm afraid for my life and my children.
They murdered my brother, and they know who they are. It's not just Dr. Murray, I promise you that. It's more people involved, and they know exactly who they are.
You have people saying that Michael Jackson was murdered. There are people saying he was corporately murdered. It's a big thing about corporate. There was people after his catalogue. I mean, I wouldn't go into details of who I thought it was, but I remember speaking to his mum, and it was on the line that, if you get rid of him, you can benefit from the branding, the estate, the publishing, the product.
Money is going to be coming in, and I think there are going to be demands on that money. But I think ultimately, you will find Michael Jackson is going to be worth more in death than he is in life.
So you got this company called AEG, which couldn't give a fuck whether or not he lives or dies. And if I was going to investigate something, I would investigate them.
I'm looking for justice for my son. And to me, he's just a fall guy. There's other people, I think, involved with this whole thing.
It's not just a one-man thing here. There's more people involved with this than that. Everybody putting hush-hush and putting on the rug. But let me tell you something. Ain't nobody buying that. No one is buying that, okay? I'm very upset about this thing. Everybody trying to push stuff up under the rug and try to hide stuff and try to cover up. It's not working. The man killed Michael Jackson. That's my personal opinion. Conspiracy? I'm sorry to hear you too, folks. Who do you think is behind the conspiracy? I think AEG is behind it. I think John Branca is behind it. I think Tomei is behind it. They have ulterior motives and they have criminal motives. They're all criminals.
Dr. Murray shouldn't be the only person here today, in your opinion?
Absolutely not.
Do you think Michael was murdered?
Absolutely. Dr. Conrad Murray obviously is guilty of administering the propofol. He's a pawn in the whole conspiracy.
With involuntary manslaughter, do you think that that's too light of a charge?
I believe it should be at least second-degree murder.
Second-degree murder.
At least.
You think he had malice? He intended.
There was malice. He intended.
He intended to
he
kill
is
him.
not alone. And I do believe it goes back to AEG and Sony. John Branca has connections to Sony. Frank DeLeo now is on the ATV board, so he has connections to Sony.
There's a lot of conspiracy going on. I'll say that much. A lot of it.
You think
all around me.
This is it. I just want you to know I appreciate everything you've done. You've been amazing. You're so loyal.
It was you who put your heart on the line. It was you who stepped forward to defend someone you love. It was you on a worldwide basis who supported me